Well, alright, what's up, guys? So, we got this one done yesterday, and I cut it out. Yeah, it's not amazing, but it's definitely not noticeable. So now, they say Telecaster kind of matches the Squier. So you get this other Squier, this is an SE, and it had a pearloid pick guard. I don't know if I can find it. Show you guys what it had looked like. And I don't know, I'm just not a fan. That one's kind of a little cream color. This one's like really, really whitish. So I just had used that the other day off of this to make the template for that. So I had this other one here too. And I couldn't find my Dremel. So I did it again with the jigsaw. Got a little faster this time. So anyway, we're going to put this thing together and I'll be back in a few minutes. I'm also going to change the 500K and put it in there and get that 250 out. Well, I really wish I could listen to music and film this at the same time. Oh, we're upside down. Hold on. Okay. All right, so looks like I interrupted the video. Anyway, I really wish I could listen to music and do this kind of stuff. But of course, copyright crap and all this other stuff. So anyway, we're going to assemble our stuff back in here. I hate these pick guards that have like the they've got like little tabs. Either they don't or they do, and then the pickup. The pots have a little tab, and you end up having to break them off because you can't put them in there with that on there. Let me see if I have enough for these washers. Put that one there. I like to have another washer on the bottom because these like to move around. The bowls are too big. And yeah. So you get the gnarly lock washer and put it on the bottom side. And usually that'll keep it pretty good. So what I've been doing is I'm mounting this up, and then when I get to the other side, I'll unsolder my other pot and put the 500K in there. I really want to do this mod. I don't know what it was called. Jeff Dobson mod or something. It's like one of the tones becomes a blender. I don't know if you can do that with a humbucker. But at any rate, I think that would be cool to be able to blend the two pickups in series with each other. And didn't look like it was too difficult. So anyway, so this is kind of an interesting deal. This I had traded a Behringer V amp that I bought with a broken pot for like $70. I can't remember. The guy wanted some weird number. He was like not willing to bend on his price. So I ended up paying him something weird, like $70. Anyway, I traded that for this really nice candy apple red, like 2008 Squier Affinity. But I never liked it because I don't like the thin, skinny Squiers. So it had these Wilkinson pickups. And I looked it up in the database. It was actually originally a HSS guitar, but the guy converted it to 3 single coil Wilkinsons. This pick guard, which I've modified, hip shot locking tuners, a bone nut, and PW29 bridge. And I mean, played and looked great. I just really didn't like it with the single coils. So I converted it back to what it was supposed to have come from the factory as. It was like one of these ones they called it the Stop Dreaming and Play Now with a some digital amplifier, you know, whatever they had in 2008. So it wasn't a Champion or whatever. It was some digital one. Anyway, I ended up trading that off to get one of my Telecasters, and I took a lot of the stuff off of it, and I actually put American standard Fender staggered tuners on that, and just drilled the pins out for it. So it had that and bone nut and all that, but this is the original pickguard right here. So it's kind of cool. I always kind of like the color of this pickguard. And I think the Wilkinson pickups, they're not bad, but I didn't really think that the bridge one was all that great. I mean, they're probably a little bit better than some of the Chinese ones you can get. Wilkinson sells a lot of different stuff. I don't really think any of it's real high quality, but some of it they would like to convince you that it is, and they charge a premium price. So, something to look out for on those. But anyway, they're going in this guitar. They were already in this guitar with a different pickguard. And I have no idea what the cream colored humbucker pickup is out of. The guy I got it from said he thought maybe it was out of a Kramer. I have no idea. It doesn't have adjustable pull pieces. It doesn't say anything on it. You'll see it here in a second. So that's it right there. It says R on the back. That's all it says. Now I can see the pull pieces come all the way down through here. I think I see ceramic magnet right here. It's hard to tell. Anyway, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's Alnico. Who knows? It doesn't really matter. It works. Works good enough for me. Let's see if I drilled my holes large enough here. There we go. I like to keep them to where they're no bigger than they need to be for this kind of stuff, because I do not want the pickups wobbling around. And if you get some of these aftermarket pickups, the screws on them are really small, so you'll end up with some wobbling. I'm hoping I can. Yeah, here we go. So it's like, I don't know if I have a screwdriver close by. Yeah, no, it's always fun trying to hold the spring and get the, thing to thread in there. Like I'm trying to do right now. I can't see what the hell is going on. Plus these are clipped, so sometimes they don't want to start. Because you have an issue where the screw ends up being way too long, and then it wants to bottom out into the bottom of the guitar, and just becomes a pain. So sometimes when you cut the bolts, the screws, whatever you want to call it, it really makes it hard to get them to ever thread, because their ends are not, even anymore. So anyway, we got this one in here. It's a little bit different of a color than everything else, but it's close. And then I got some knobs that are extremely close to the pick guard. So I'm just gonna flip this over. Looks like we broke our wire here. I'm gonna do a few things. I'm gonna use the big guns, so I don't feel like sitting here all day. I've got the Weller soldering station over here. It's like 80 watts, and it doesn't really get hot enough to work on the backs of these pots, because these act like a really good heat sink. So get that off of there. Alright, we got to pay attention to our wires here. That one's also a ground. And middle wire. So we take that. That one feeds our selector switch. So these all have the funny little S in the middle. B. I think this is 230. But it should be 250 anyway. This is actually an A 500. So I guess it's an audio, and the B is a linear. I don't remember. I really don't care. I don't adjust my volume. So I just leave it up or off. Come on. Alright. That one. Let's get our washers in place. Let's see, we get these ones. I need to look on the back side before I put this through, just to make sure, because I think it might be a little bit longer than the other ones. Nope. It's about the same. Okay. So, should be able to go in here, put that down there. And that's the right one. I hate it when they stick out. You end up with like the long, crazy volume control where you can see the deal. I'm gonna actually move this, since we have a guitar stand right here that you guys can't see, and I can just solder this and get it done without having to fiddle with the other thing in the way. You have to be careful when you do this, you know, because you have to hold it there. Sometimes you'll burn yourself, because, you know, if you let go of it, that, you know, the solder is going to move. I think that just got pretty hot. And then this thing, it'll definitely burn up your wires, so be careful. So now we just have to do the ground, and so ground to there, ground to there, ground to there, ground to the switch. And then we might take some tape and come in here. So this is for these guitars, you can't see it over there, they have the route where there's not a lot of room in the middle. And so what I like to do is I just take a piece of tape, or, you know, good old Scotch tape, like, you know, looks a little more professional. I put my wires right here, make sure they're not floating around. And also, I don't usually tape them right here in case I need to reach in there and find out like it's not centered. So if you know it's centered, then you're good to go. We'll take this wire here. Just kind of put it under there and get it out of our way. And then what you just have to do is solder our input jack wires. This thing will come off the greedy stand that didn't want to let go. So this guitar has got some funky chunks out of it. Like, I guess this was like before, you know, like CNC was a thing. Like, that is a really, really, really deep gouge. But anyway, this is a SE, and it actually has the original tuners with the plastic on them still. So anyway, so the thickness of the guitar, especially when you look back here, you can see, yes, it's a full thickness guitar. I hate that they make all these damn thin diet squires. I do not want a diet guitar. I don't want a guitar that, you know, that you wouldn't buy a 4-cylinder Corvette, you know, that looks like a Corvette, you know. So I don't care if it's not the real thing. I want it to be full size. And that's just me. Some guys prefer the skinnier ones, but I don't. And they do that to save money, I guess. And also, I think, to not compete with their own market. So, you know, a lot of people don't know that these certain squires and starcasters are full size. So, at any rate, find my solder. So, you know, they'll go buy a Fender instead. Of course, this thing automatically times out, thank God, because I've left it on for days before. What it does is it goes into like sleep mode, drops down to like 300 Fahrenheit, which is still pretty hot, but it's not hot enough to solder anything. This is some nasty wire right here. It's like tarnished. So let me see here. They do use some really crap wire in some of these. Like, I've seen like stuff that I was like, is this copper clad steel? Anyway. Let's see if it'll stick now. Huh. Now this probably won't stick on here with this iron. So I'm just gonna get a little fresh solder on there. Plus it's got resin. Make it stick better. Now we take these two. I'm gonna have to tighten the tip on this thing. It seems to be getting a little bit slow. There we go. Okay. Now you got to deal with the holes that probably aren't going to line up, because this is a different pick guard. And I think this pick guard has never lined up with anything that I tried it with. That one lined up, 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 and that one lined up. So this is what it's going to look like. And I should put the PW29 bridge in here, but we'll just do this for now. So I shall be back with this thing attested, fully assembled. All right, so that one. Did that one yesterday. And now this one's done. And it sounds a lot better, I think, with the 500K. It's not a huge difference, but I think it sounds a little bit more full. Honestly, using the amp that I use back there, you know, I get the same kind of sound out of all of them, except the Telecaster, the DiMarzio Tone Zone, or whatever it is a little less output than these. And then this one here's got a dimebucker in it, and it screams like hell. And it kind of has a different sound completely from all my other guitars. But these sound really good on the single coils. So does this one. So does that PV over. That PV over there screams. Those pickups are like fire. I don't know what the hell. Like, I don't think I'm gonna need to change that, because it's like I don't really want to. It's got the different pick guard configuration as far as the number of screws and stuff like that, and if it's working, it's working, you know. I've been playing around with that with clean reverb too, so it sounds nice. Anyway, this one's all done.